Hi, I'm Charlie from Faram's and welcome to this month's 5 Minutes with Faram with Keith Bott, owner of Titanic Brewery. So Keith, you and I have known each other for ages in different guises. You've been my boss when I've worked at Titanic Brewery, my boss when I worked at Seba, twice when you were voted back in again. We'll start off straight kicking into these questions then on 5 Minutes with Faram. So what's your current favourite hop and why?
Well, it's just so tricky because hops are so fabulous, aren't they? And there's so many different hops and you've got lots of things to go at. But still my favourite hop has to be Cascade.
Why's that?
It's such a great flavour. It's such a great taste that you get off Cascade. You can use it late hops, you can use it early hops. Put it in the boil, it gives beer smoothness like you've never known. It's fab.
Yeah, so you're definitely liking that one. So what beer style are you loving right now? We've got the Plum Porter, the Nitro Stout, sorry. I'm used to saying Plum Porter, but yeah, the Nitro Stout. And what's your current favourite style?
Well, it's incredible, isn't it? Because I think, I always say to people, when we brought Plum Porter out, if you'd said to me that would be our best-selling beer when we first brought it out, and go, you know nothing about brewing, you know nothing about our industry. And here we are with a fruit-flavoured 4.9% beer. It's over 50% of what we brew at Titanic. How wrong was I? So you never know what's next. You look at Guinness now, and you think, nobody drank Guinness. Why is everybody suddenly drinking Guinness? But then we produce a nitro version of the Plum, and even the brewers say to me, it's even better than the cask, that is. So we just got to get it out there, get people trying it.
This might lead on to the next question, but what's been a beer epiphany moment when you've been like, wow, this beer is something else?
I think the one that really sticks in my mind is going out to see Pilsner Urquell Brewery in Czech Republic, in Pilsen. And there was a group of us, good friends, sat in the cellars at Pilsen, tasting unfiltered, unpasteurised Pilsner Urquell. And I think it's one of those moments where you go, oh, God, this world's just fabulous. It's just tremendous.
So is that the beer and the, where you?
I always say if whenever you think of your favourite beer, it won't have been on the day when the lawnmower's broken or the car's knackered or you've got divorced. It's always on a day where you're having a fantastic time.
Yeah, that's true.
That pint was on a day where we were having a tremendous time, enjoying ourselves. Your favourite pint will always be when you're having good fun.
Yeah, that is true, actually. So what's your, you might have answered this one as well. What's your favourite beer destination? So that's country, town, festival, pub, house.
Home.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? I'm really lucky. I live next door to the pub. We'll wander around, go and have a pint, and it's in fabulous nick. What more could you want?
Yeah, very chilled. So these are more process questions now. So what's a small technique or a tweak that's made a big difference to your beer?
I'm thinking right back to when we first started brewing, and we were one of the first breweries to use American hops. It's why my love of Cascade comes. But when I first started brewing, nobody put hops late into the boil. There was soak hops were something that nobody ever used, and it just opened up a whole new world for us. And I can think back to that back in 1986, 87, and finding these whole new and thinking this is amazing. And you just look at how everything's developed since. God, it's incredible.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
There's been a lot of tweaks.
Yeah,
so including the plum and...
Well, even just down to putting hops into 5 kilo backpack bags.
Yeah.
When I first started brewing, we were buying pockets.
Yeah.
And by the end, when you start the pocket and it was lovely and fresh, and you'd be finishing the pocket and you'd be scraping a bit of mould off before you put it into the beer.
Yeah.
And it was going to get boiled, so it didn't matter anyway. But now in a 5 kilo pack, how many different hops can you try? We've got hundreds.
I know, yeah, it's a bit overwhelming at times. So, and then what's an underrated ingredient that brewers should talk about more?
It's what's underrated? I think we forget that certain ingredients can change the character of a beer without necessarily changing the flavour. So stuff like roast barley and stout, roast barley, all those unfermentable sugars give it real body, real mouthfeel, and it's those little tweaks, a bit of torrefied wheat can give you real great head retention. It's those little tweaks that build up into a beer being fantastic.
Yeah, good point. What ingredient choices had the biggest impact on your beer that drinkers rarely think about?
Plums. Do you want to move on?
I think it's going to be a plum theme going on here, really. And then what's the one thing in the brewery that you couldn't live without? It can be like a tool, a piece of kit, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's really tricky, isn't it? Because there's loads of bits of kit in the brewery that you need.
Yeah.
But what was the best bit of kit I've found for ages? Those little circlips that help you undo John Guest fittings.
Oh, right.
Somebody gave me one. I think they cost about 30p, and it was just a revelation because I've spent years with my fingers around the John Guest fittings trying to pull them apart and work them. And you've got this bit of kit that does it. It was a whole game changer.
Yeah. Brew Day soundtrack. What's playing?
Oh, again, it's really tough, isn't it? I think back to when I first started, and the guy who taught me how to brew when I first started brewing was a guy called Phil Salt. And the one thing I remember he played over and over and over was Smiley Culture.
Well, yeah.
No, before your time. Yeah, go do some research. Listen to Smiley Culture.
Is that the band or is that the song?
That's the artiste.
Artiste, okay, Smiley Culture. What's it, like punk or something?
Oh, no. Deep sort of hard reggae from 1980 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I've not really known you as much of a singer or heard you sing, but is there something that you sing when you're...
Hymns.
Hymns?
Oh, you've got to sing a hymn. I mean, everybody loves singing a hymn.
Yeah, from hymn practice at school.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely the way to go.
What's your favourite hymn?
Oh, without doubt, Bread of Heaven.
Oh, Autumn Days was one.
Oh, really? No, feed me, O thou great
tolerate.
Redeemer, pilgrim through this barren land. Yeah. Woke the children up with that for years.
Yeah, that's really uplifting song, I think. And then, so outside of the brewery, what keeps you sane?
Pubs.
Pubs.
I mean, let's carry on the thing.
Yeah.
What are pubs? Pubs are just great places to be. And where do we want to be? We want to be with our friends. We want to be somewhere where we can relax. We want to be somewhere where somebody's going to look after it. Pubs are just brilliant. Yeah.
I kind of knew you'd say that. And then, so if you weren't brewing, now you took over the brewery when you were 17.
Well, no, I started work when I was 18. I took over the brewery when I was 21.
Right.
So I've never done anything else.
Yeah, you've never known anything. Do you know what you would be doing?
Well, I was supposed to be, before I went into brewing, I was supposed to be a civil servant.
Right.
So I was due to become a valuation officer, a cadet valuer, and learn to be a valuer. And you just think, how could I have possibly been a civil servant? I'm not sure it would have worked. But hey.
Yeah, that's not what I was expecting. And then, what experiment in the brewery taught you the most, even if it failed?
Oh, we've done loads of things that didn't work very well. We thinking back to all sorts of things that we tried and didn't work. Not long after we'd produced our first flavoured beer, I tried to do a spring blossom beer.
Right.
And if anybody's ever tipped Lenore into their beer and then tried to drink it, that's entirely up to them. But I tried it. I thought it'd work. So no, you've got to make lots of mistakes to get it right.
And have they been costly, any of them? What's the worst one?
There has been the odd costly one, the odd one that's gone really wrong, but not that we've overstretched ourselves with.
Yeah. So, no flooding the brewery with beer and.
No, we don't waste beer.
Yeah. Going on to process again, how do you evaluate whether a new process or ingredient is worth adopting?
We talk to people about how new ingredients work, and that's where the fabulous relationship with Faram's comes from.
Yeah.
So between us, whether it's me or Will the brewer or Faz our assistant brewer, we'll have a chat with people and say, we're looking for this, we're trying to find that. And somebody at Faram's will go, well, what you need for that is this.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. And that's the same with our maltsters at Fawcett's. You know, we've got people we can talk to who know much more about the ingredients than we do, that give us the chance to try new things and have an idea how they're going to work.
Yeah, I guess because we're living and breathing it.
It's what you do, and you've got people who've tried it before. And
Exactly, yeah. Where do you allow yourself to push boundaries, and where do you stay a bit conservative?
I think we've always pushed boundaries. We've never stopped pushing boundaries, but mainly just the boundaries need to be fun.
Yeah.
So if you're not having fun, then why are you in this industry? Because it is an industry full of fun. And those boundaries are where you find the best fun.
Yeah, definitely. Because, when I was at Titanic, we got just the 8 core beers. Iceberg was more like on the lager side, which was that was quite boundary pushing for back then. And then all of a sudden, we come in with all these different flavours.
We've been pushing boundaries for the 40 years that we've been brewing beer.
Yeah.
And quite quickly you find that you push a boundary and create something interesting, and then everybody else is doing it. You know, we have to try and think of new things, new ways of doing stuff. So we just brewed a coffee porter, which is a collaboration with our friends at Charlie Coffee, who produce all the coffee for Bott.
Right.
And Will's been explaining to me, this is Will, our brewer, explaining to me about topping off the mash. Well, this is, 40 years on, and I'm learning stuff still, and that's what it's like. We're still learning, we're having fun, we're having a great time. But the flavours that gave it, absolutely incredible. Very similar to when I've dropped a Tia Maria in a pint of stout, but it's still incredible that they can brew that.
And an espresso porter as well.
Absolutely, yeah. There's still work to be done.
So, going to the future, what's next for you and the brewery?
It's difficult to know. I don't think I've ever known in 40 years. I always say that, if Dave and I, when we took over the brewery back in 1988, had been on Dragon's Den, we'd have been thrown out. Yeah. Because we had no plan. We had no idea where we were going to sell anything. We had no idea how to run a business. And it's still pretty much the same.
What brew are you dying to brew, but you haven't yet?
I don't think there's anything that I'm dying to brew. I think there's keep trying new things, keep trying interesting things. But I think we've had a pretty good run at trying everything we can. And as I say, if people told me 10 years ago that Plum Porter would be as big as it was, I'd told them they knew nothing about brewing. So I've really got an open mind. Let's keep trying things, trying new stuff.
What excites you the most about the future of brewing?
I think making sure that people understand the opportunity in a glass. When you get a glass of beer, it's a friend, it's a smile, it's a cuddle, it's everything that you need in life if you approach it in the right direction. And that's with friends and enjoying company and enjoying the way in which communities come together. Titanic have created the foundation now, which is putting money into charities that work close to where our pubs are, because we recognise those communities are everything. So how can we stop doing that? We can't. We've just got to carry on brewing great beer, keep smiling, keep enjoying it. Yeah. Brewing
smile in a glass. That could be.
It says on the side of this.
For a new band.
40 years of smiles.
Oh yeah, it does as well. I thought you were being original.
No, never done that.
On the flip side of that, what worries you about the future of brewing, or what do you think brewers should be talking about more?
Well, we all need to keep our eye on the government. They seem to have a habit. I mean, despite their inability to organise a piss up in a brewery, they still manage to tax us unbelievably. And we need to fight. We need to make sure that we carry on fighting. We've fought for 40 years, and we're better off than we were 40 years ago, but we still need to fight to make sure it's fair. It's not fair for us to be paying business rates on pubs at a much higher level than the rest of retail. Why are we doing it? Let's change it. Let's get a team together who can do that. And that's why I've always been committed to working together with other breweries. We're looking at potentially the drink drive limit changing. Is that going to benefit anybody? No, it's just going to make business harder without actually saving any lives. You want to save lives, stop everybody under 25 driving a car. It's dead simple. You cut the deaths in half. but nobody's going to do that. So stop picking on things that don't matter. You know, it's not going to change anything. It's just going to make our industry harder. So we've just got to keep pushing, keep fighting.
Yeah,
We'll
there's a lot of battles, I guess.
There is.
What skills do you think separates good brewers from great ones?
Well, there's long running theory that nice people can't brew good beer. I think that's
They're not shouting at the yeast often enough.
They're not angry enough to brew great beer. I think the great brewers are the ones who will push the boundaries, give it real kick and try something new. Whereas a good brewer will produce great beer, save every time, but they're not going to find that new thing or find that innovation that really spurs things on.
Yeah, and I guess it's the willingness to change or like take advice and stuff.
Try and listen. Listening's a good skill for a brewer.
Yeah.
Not all of them can do it.
No. I'm not saying anything. So then we'll finish off with a quick fire of brewer classics. So precision or intuition?
That's I'm not doing very well on the quick fire element of this, am I?
No, the other
okay. I'm going to go intuition. Precision is great, but precision takes you down a route that brews absolutely amazing beer time after time after time. But if that's Budweiser, well done.
Yeah.
But if you use your intuition, you'll get to something that's a bit interesting
and smiley. Repeatability or experimentation?
It's got to be experimentation based on the previous answer.
Okay, well, that's great. So thanks very much for your time for the 5 minutes with Faram. It's not 5 minutes, but yeah. And we'll look forward to speaking to you again.
Cheers.
Cheers.